he's getting it now.
Hey everyone, welcome to Metal Customs. Today we're getting back on the windshield frame of the 68 M715 Jeep. This thing is in a rough shape. It's got a lot of rust. So we're going to have to do a lot of cutting and a lot of new metal work putting in this. Let me give you the quickness of it and run around and let you see what I'm working with here. Like I say, for a 68, it's probably not in that bad a shape. I see some pitting around here and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty good pitting right there. But as you can see up here, how bad the rust is. And yeah, I've done marked and cut out everything that I'm going to cut out and replace. The section here, I'm going to have to go up high. Where these two are welded together, there's some rust trapped in there, so we got to get that as well as here. But now here, we'll go from here all the way across. Yeah, as y'all can see, that's pretty ugly. And here, we got some bad rust here, and long sections like this here, and so on and so forth. So there's a quick look at what I've got to work with on this thing. The issues that you run into doing something like this is not that thick. When you cut this out, you put a piece in there, and I'll show you, you need to put another piece of metal on that and use up a bunch of clamps and hold that thing flat. Because I don't care how careful you are with your welding, you're going to warp. And we don't need warp because that's where the rubber goes in and holds the windshield. So this thing needs to be like chew on the money. And just like the curves and everything, needs to definitely be 100% on the money. So I think the first thing we're going to do, these screws here would not come out. I've tried everything in the world. So I'm just going to take my good old grinder to them and grind them out and then pop them on through. And when he puts it back together, he'll just use some oversized screws in these holes, and that's no big deal. I believe all that holes right here is just a seal across there if I'm not mistaken. But let me get them ground out, and then we'll start replacing all the sections of metal on this thing. Ought to be fun. Care of all them screws. What I'm going to do here is start on the top. Yeah, I'll start on the easiest first. And we switched over to our death wheel. So I'm just going to cut this section out here where I've got our marks. Pretty plain and simple. Just y'all watch this thing. It will get you if you don't respect it. and that. And we're changing metals. I'm going to stainless steel. I think I have enough stainless to do all the repairs on this, I hope. I think it would just be a better material for this, and the thickness of this stainless steel matches the thickness of what's already there. So that's a big thing as well. Let's get, get some kind of mark here, general cut off, and then we'll get the regular. Okay, so if we cut this right there, ought to be just fine. We'll cut this across and come back over here and hold it up here, and then get our quote perfect measurement. I've got that strip made out of the stainless. Now, like I was talking about earlier, we've got to make this where it's not going to warp while we're welding. So I have this piece of flat steel right here. Yeah, it's thick enough. I think that'll get the job done. So what I'm going to do is just put this under like this. Now if I can hold it still. Try to get a clamp on there to hold that. Yeah, not as easy as it looks, is it? I think that one will hold. Try to get one on this corner here if I can. Sometimes these things get hard to crank up, don't they? Alright, that's keeping us flat across there. Now we'll just take our piece, lays in, like so, like a glove. Alright, well, let's get it all clamped up good. Pull this thing out here. Get that through. Maybe that'll get it there. If we're dropping my stuff, it would probably help out a whole lot as well. If you notice, I'm clamping to this piece or steel piece underneath and this lift right here. Trying to keep all this just as straight as I can. Which, I mean, it's only going to be so perfect when you do stuff like this here. Like this part here. Since these two lap together under here, then there is going to be a gap. Now, I'd rather the gap be on the inside than the outside. But I am seeing, I need some type of, just a piece of spacer under there. Right there might do it just fine. tap it down there. Alright, that's looking decent. You know, I'm going to have so many of these in here, I won't be able to weld anything, will I? Nah, it'll work out just fine. I think that'll work out good. Yeah, if it doesn't fall on us. Okay, now run my fingers across here, and what I'm doing, I'm seeing if the height is the same. And that's important. So far it's looking good, looking good. And we know we're going to have to do some tapping around this area right here to get it in sync. But that's how you do that. Let me run through here and get some welding done on this thing. Slowly but surely, you jump around all over the place until you get her all welded up. While all of that was clamped up the way it was, I run me some beads down through here, as you can see. Now what I did was took this piece of metal and moved it outwards. Clamped it here, and clamped it down there to the original frame part, and then started running clamps through here to my frame piece. That'll keep that from warping. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these welds through here, and then flip it over and get the welds on the other side. That should, now I ain't saying that's going to eliminate all the warp. You're working with some thin metal here, but you got to do what you can do to minimize the warp and do a good job as possible. And I think this right here will get it done. So let me go ahead and keep on welding. Alright, well, we got these three done. One there, the long one here, then the short one over in here. And they're all ground down, ready to rock, and done. Now, the big deal is doing this one. Now, and the customer called me too, I think that he's seen the video. He doesn't want me to fool with any of the actual framework. Just make the metal where the windshield goes in. So, I don't want to lose any of these dimensions or anything, so I think we need to make us a little bit of a template here so that we keep everything in its perspective. So let me grab some cardboard and let's get us a template made for this, just to be better safe than sorry. Just take a couple pieces of cardboard and throw it down there. Because we know this is straight from here to here. That we know. We come up here, and this is past from where we really need to make this thing. But there is a line here. That's my cut line. And I'm going to run that cut line right up on my cardboard too. The way it goes back exactly where it's supposed to. So here's not, it's rusted enough to cut out, but not enough to not get a decently straight line. Same with right here. Go up here, go way past that cut. There we go. The cut line is going to be here on this one. All right. Yeah, let's take care of it. Now, after we cut all this out, we get our metal made. Then our little templates, we can just shove them right back up in here where they go. Then we'll know that we got that corner just right. Always take your little time out and try to figure these things out. Save you a lot of trouble in the future. All right, now I need to come in here and cut all that crap out. I actually think, which way would be easier to cut this? From this side or the other side? I don't need to overcut. Let's just grab the cutter and let's just see which way will work better. I think this will work pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to melt my arm off, but that's okay. Well, let me go ahead and get this all cut out, and then we'll see what we have for metal, because we're going to have to make this in several pieces. Got it all cut out and cleaned up. I took the wire brush and get down here the best I could. Like I say, he didn't want to do anything to this area here. I'm going to make for some fun welding. But here's what I've done. I cut me 2 strips. One of them pre-measured, of course. 5/8 is what this lip comes up. So I've got these strips cut, and I'm going to start on this side. I have to have something here where we know it'll hold it up. So we can take one of our strips here, lay it down in there like so. And then get that clamped in there, then get that one welded. Then we'll jump over to the other side, do the same thing. Then we'll have a center piece here from roughly here to somewhere in here that we'll have to section that. Then I figure we'll come in here and make these pieces with the curve coming into the flats. I'm thinking that's the best way to go about this project. Run the bottom as one whole stretch there, and then come in and do the sides with the round. Hopefully that'll work out good. We'll see. That's going to be some fun welding down through there. But let me get this all clamped up and get to burning some wire. Alright, now that we have our bottom strip all welded in, it's still not finessed, but it's welded in. That's all we need at the moment. Grab a piece of stainless here. We're just going to shove it up in here. Right, so right there works well for me. We know it's going to be cut. Go ahead and get these marks laid out. Then grab our cardboard template that we had earlier. I should have cut more off of that. Give me a second, let me cut this off here while I slide this in there just right. Alright, I'm going to slice across that. Now I'll get my line there. This should be here. Still got my line here where I've done that cutoff. Now, I'm backing it off just a shade so that I can give plenty of room to cut. Inside the marker is fat. There we go. Now, that right there should be our curve section. It's going to come in here. Well, let me go ahead and take the death wheel and cut this out. And we'll just see how it's going to work. And there we go. Got a welded rod in there, top and bottom. Now, just a lot of grinding and some shaping to do. I'll use my cardboard template to get it just right. Well guys, I'm going to go ahead and off camera make this other side and do a lot of grinding and see what we come up with. And I do believe we have it. Got all of our flats in there. We've got a curve in there. Flats are flat and the curves are curvy, so that ought to do the trick. All of this down through here, that's why I overlapped the weld. I had to get some strength somewhere because there's really no good weld underneath because of the metal's not so great. But what he'll have to do is the powder coating guy's got that steel filler, metal filler. He'll have to run him a line down through here, smooth it out, same way here. But that's not a big deal. He can do that and it'll look good. My biggest concern was the strength of it. Now, when this thing's powder coated, I think they throw it in the oven at 450 and cook it. I just wonder how bad that thin lip is going to warp, or even if it does warp. I hope it doesn't. That's the only concern I have, but any of y'all that know anything about powder coating, throw me down some info because I do not know. And inform me of what's going on here. But yeah, I think I'm going to give this young man a call and tell him that this project is done. Well everyone, I appreciate you watching. I know this video, it got pretty long, but this was a lot, and I mean a lot of work. Very involved, a lot of welding, a lot of grinding, weld, grind, try to finish, you know, doing stuff like this, you're just going to get really involved in it. But I think it turned out pretty good, and I think it's structurally sound, and that's the important part. Well guys, again, hope you enjoyed. I appreciate it. If you would, throw me down some comments. If you're able, hit us up on Patreon and or the Super Thanks. And please, like, share, and subscribe. Again, appreciate it much. Till the next one, we hope that everyone has a fantastic day.